I'm sorry, I had 4 wives. I was at your house, though, because the other wife was complaining that I was at your house.
Rightly now, Kody Brown is totally enraged, and sources report he's scrambling to deal with the backlash after Christine's memoir revealed some of his most private bedroom secrets.
He rushed home to Robyn. He needed to check in on, I don't know, the kid.
Although the official release of the book doesn't take place until September 2nd, reports say early editions have already appeared in Barnes and Noble bookstores. Online rumor is exploding with bombshells that appear to have the sister wives' patriarch completely infuriated. So what's got him so upset?
Well, why are you sleeping in the closet? That's weird. But then it's just like, well, it's really close. It's convenient. Their closet's huge. Just I could be close.
Christine has finally blown air out of Kody's most narcissistic bedroom ritual in the whole world to witness, and it's not pretty. Early readers shared details on a Reddit post that Christine says Kody required hour-long full-body massages before intimacy but refused ever to reciprocate. When she did eventually request a massage from him, his supposed reply was a flat no, because, and this is straight out of the book, massaging her didn't turn him on. The temerity is shocking, but lo and behold, it gets even better. The instant Christine ceased to provide him with those epic rubdowns, guess who came knocking? Robyn. That's correct. The fourth wife had apparently been monitoring Christine's massage schedule and demanded to know why the pampering stopped. According to sources, Kody had been openly discussing personal aspects of his affair with Christine, establishing a strange, nearly surveillance-type system around their sex life. According to insiders, that's what actually has him riled. Because it doesn't make him selfish alone. It reveals a transactional style of intimacy that reportedly spanned all his marriages. Any woman who's ever gotten caught up in a one-sided relationship where she gives and her partner takes and takes is likely seeing this dynamic right now. And for Kody, the timing couldn't be worse. With his family broken and his many children estranged, these disclosures paint him as the sort of man who approaches love like a customer service transaction, where he's the sole client worth pleasing. Christine's public decision to make these claims implies she's no longer going to be his image protector, and sources say Kody is aware of it. Now, are you prepared for the complete analysis of what Christine dished and why Kody's allegedly stalking his Flagstaff property like a wild animal? Because this massage scandal is only the tip of the iceberg. Redditors who say they've seen advance copies report that Christine leaves no stone unturned when it comes to their physical affair, and what she has to say could shatter any man's ego. The massage problem isn't a matter of selfishness but of a whole dynamic of receiving without giving that, she says, characterized their intimacy from beginning to end. She supposedly writes that Kody demanded those hour massages as a prerequisite to intimacy, using her as his own personal spa attendant. But when she asked for the same exertion in return, he would not even consider it, because, as he explained, it did not turn him on. Consider this, a man who has more than one wife who could not bestow simple physical affection on the mother of 6 of his children unless he benefited from it. The sense of entitlement is appalling. And those who know him say that Kody is furious because this news makes him look exactly like the kind of partner women dread appending their lives with. But Christine did not stop there. Early readers assert that she went into graphic detail about their wedding night, detailing no foreplay, painful intercourse, and tears. She had thought his history with other wives would translate to gentleness and consideration. Instead, it was the most selfish, inconsiderate introduction to sex she could have fathomed. The honeymoon didn't make things any better. Christine supposedly penned that she was so in pain they couldn't be intimate the rest of the trip. Any woman reading this, the secondhand anger and humiliation is almost too much to take if sources within the family indicate that Kody is especially enraged because these aren't just sexy tales. They're claims that paint him as inherently insufficient as a husband and a lover. And if you factor in who else was allegedly in the know about the massage scenario, the scandal gets even uglier. Christine's book implies this wasn't only between her and Kody. Robyn was explicitly policing and controlling Christine's sex life. Picture this. Christine finally has a meltdown and quits giving those grueling hour-long massages because Kody doesn't reciprocate. Any decent partner would honor that boundary, right? But clearly not in the Brown family. In her book, Christine recounts, per sources, that Robyn essentially came to her and asked her why she was not pampering Kody anymore. Just take a moment and consider the brazenness of that interaction. Fourth wife intruding directly into the bedroom politics between her husband and third wife, basically forcing Christine to continue servicing Kody. But things only get worse from there. Early readers assert Christine tells us that Kody had been sharing intimate bedroom facts, or the absence thereof, with Robyn. So Robyn wasn't merely asking Christine out of the blue about the messages, she obviously already knew, because Kody had been talking to her about it. Any woman who's ever found out her lover was dishing private relationship information with another person likely just experienced that gut kick of betrayal. The violation of trust is enormous, but the fact that Robyn followed those facts up with coercing Christine back into line is another story altogether. Sources close to the situation report that this specific piece of information has Kody particularly angry, as it paints him and Robyn in a light that suggests they were somehow in cahoots to use Christine to continue doing only one thing that benefited him. Now the massage scandal isn't merely one of selfishness, it's one of control, spying, and humiliation. The web of monitoring that Christine supposedly sketches is one that would make any woman who values her privacy shudder. And sources claim Kody's furious because this section of the book reveals just how much the lines in his home were pushed. As per Reddit forums, the massage interrogation wasn't isolated to the incident. Christine supposedly describes it as only part of a larger trend in which Robyn inserted herself into intimate details of the other wives' marriages. She might come to Christine, seeking to create a sisterly rapport, then turn around and distort Christine's statements and channel them directly back to Kody. Picture disclosing to someone you believed was a trusted friend, then learning she was basically an information pipeline to your husband. Each woman who's ever been betrayed by a so-called friend can likely sense that sting for herself right now, but the massage disclosures indicate the extent to which this dynamic was reportedly calculated. When Christine discontinued those long massages, Robyn didn't just mention it casually, she asked pointedly why she had discontinued. How would she have known about such a personal routine unless Kody was regularly briefing her on it? Sources indicate that Christine's book indicates Kody actually briefed Robyn on his exclusive life with Christine, including the massage arrangement, which accounts for Robyn's specific questions when Christine discontinued. The psychological manipulation is mind-boggling when you dissect it. Kody makes impossible demands, reports back to Robyn on compliance, and then Robyn pressures to get Christine back into compliance. It's like a multi-level marketing program for effective and somatic labor. Women who have experienced bad work environments or complicated family politics will see this triangulation right away, applying control through a third party with direct confrontation kept at arm's length, from Reddit readers breaking down the book. This so-called surveillance system went far beyond messages. It apparently involved facial expressions when they were on camera, intimate conversations between the wives, even interactions with the children. And according to sources, Kody would punish the wives who failed to meet his expectations by withdrawing his presence, using visits as a reward, and his absence as punishment. That Robyn was supposedly interrogating Christine regarding intimate routines indicates she wasn't being a supportive sister wife in the least. She was working as Kody's enforcer, making sure the other wives maintained their levels of service. That's not solidarity, that's management of unpaid domestic and sexual labor. And the rumor mill Christine writes about in her book is the sort of betrayal that would make any woman's blood boil purely with rage. Insiders report this betrayal as having Kody in disarray, because it underscores just how much he betrayed the most fundamental trust in a relationship. Reddit commentators on early drafts say Christine writes that Kody was sharing intimate information about their bedroom problems with Robyn, making what was supposed to be their private agony embarrassing running commentary for his favorite wife. Imagine finding out your husband has been telling another woman about your most intimate moments. Christine entrusted Kody with her physical and emotional self, only to find he was making their private agony a spectator sport. But this is not just ordinary gossip. It's weaponizing intimacy. And according to the so-called book claims, this wasn't friendly pillow talk. Christine describes Robyn as coming to her with secrets, faking building a close sisterly relationship, just to distort her words and dump them straight into Kody's lap. While doing that, Kody was arming Robyn with ammunition, revealing Christine's weaknesses and submissive tendencies. That calculated triangulation, according to sources, is precisely what has Kody furious about Christine's expose. She's not only revealing his selfish bedroom antics, she's unveiling what appears to be a systemized operation wherein he and Robyn collaborated to spy on and control Christine's actions. When Christine discontinued the massages, Robyn didn't naively inquire about it. She knew, as Kody had already debriefed her. For Christine, this was not merely a breach of trust, it reduced intimacy to a performance in front of an unwanted third party. Every fight, every boundary pushed was being hashed out, analyzed, and then used against her by a second wife. Women whose trust has been betrayed may recognize that familiar burn, but this is different. It's psychological warfare, layered and sadistic. Kody would establish unrealistic expectations, give reports on who was following along, then have Robyn exert the pressure to get the others back in line. Manipulation in the guise of family communication, and sources confirm that Christine's decision to finally put everything in writing has Kody enraged. What makes this particularly hurtful is that these are not merely general accusations. Christine experienced it, suffered through it, and now has documented it for the whole world to witness. The trend she outlines indicates Kody's egotistical behavior wasn't limited to her. Apparently, it was his modus operandi with multiple wives. Reddit readers dissecting the book report her massage disclosures reflect the decades-long grievances voiced by other wives. What reportedly infuriates Kody the most is the contrast Christine highlights between how he treated her versus Robyn. She allegedly recalls him staying an entire month with Robyn after Solomon's birth, 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, while she only got 2 days of support following Truly's arrival. The imbalance is glaring, humiliating, and impossible to defend. And fans have seen it on the show too. Kody has been caught on camera giving Robyn foot massages, freely expressing how much he enjoys doing it because he loves her so much. And Christine was supposedly told flat out that massaging her didn't arouse him, and therefore he refused to ever again give her the long, hours-long rubdowns he insisted on from her. For women to observe, this is a textbook behavior. Demanding eternal servitude while withholding love, only to bestow that same love liberally upon someone else. And Christine's book ensures the world gets to see it for what it was. This is not only selfish, it's openly cruel in its inconsistency. Christine, in these reports, suffered years of being informed her body wasn't even worth his effort, while she stood by and watched Kody shower his favorite wife with physical attention. Reddit commentators on the book report Christine also showing that Kody spent with the first 3 wives solely to eat and sleep, and if conditions weren't just right in their homes, he'd just go on to the next. His bedroom requirements, it appears, were part of a bigger modus operandi, treating wives as service providers, not partners. Sources close to Kody say he is particularly outraged because the timing of Christine's book is disastrous for his public image. With a majority of his adult children already estranged and the family finances reportedly in shambles, these disclosures portray him as a man who never invested in any relationship but his own pleasure and convenience. The massage scandal, in this context, becomes emblematic of something greater. Christine's claimed portrait of a husband who regarded physical intimacy as owing to him, not as something shared on equal terms. Any woman who's ever felt like she was doing instead of connecting in her own relationship probably knows that dynamic instantly. What makes this particularly damaging for Kody is the amount of detail. Christine's supposed narrative isn't nebulous, she describes specific instances and chronologies, implying she'd made mental recordings for years before speaking out. The response online has been frenzied. Reddit forums, Facebook communities, and texting chains have become cyber support groups, with women relaying their own tales of partners who exacted service without giving back. That tide of vindication is compelling, and, according to sources, chilling for Kody. One Reddit commenter confessed Christine's massage revelations made them literally sick because the dynamic was one they themselves had been through in their own previous relationship. Another said her ex-husband insisted on fancy treatment while his needs were inconvenient or ugly-looking. The comment threads are filled with women declaring it a masterclass on identifying manipulation techniques masquerading as expectations. And that is what is so remarkable about the internet reaction. This is not simply sister wives rumor. Women are working through their own experiences using Christine's narrative, recognizing the massage scandal as a prime instance of weaponized intimacy. Asking for hour-long rubdowns yet denying even minimal reciprocation isn't merely selfish, it's a deliberate power move aimed at defining who serves and who is served. In myriad posts, women confess that they can now recognize this as a red flag they wish they had noticed earlier in their own relationships. Sources familiar with the situation indicate Kody is livid regarding this grassroots backlash because it blows Christine's disclosures well beyond reality show viewers. When your personal bedroom habits become a cautionary tale in moms groups and marriage therapy sessions, the harm bleeds into areas you can't police. At the same time, online forums devoted to sister wives have been allegedly bursting with activity since the details of these books leaked. Women who've lived on family budgets as partners' emptied accounts are making the connection between the financial manipulation and physical manipulation, asserting a damning trend. Kody's selfishness didn't end in one department. It permeated the whole underpinning of his marriages, based on readers analyzing Christine's story. Several are also calling out how the bombshell about Robyn complaining about the massages perfectly aligns with other instances in which she appeared to police and report. On the other wives, the so-called bedroom surveillance wasn't a standalone problem, it was purportedly part of a bigger system of control, monitoring, and compliance. The public response has apparently fostered the very situation Kody feared most. A generalized understanding that his actions were more in keeping with textbook manipulation than the image of a love-plural marriage leader he labored so diligently to project. Christine's supposed financial disclosures only add to this impression, revealing that his bedroom selfishness was but one element of a much broader pattern of taking without returning. Close observers say this comprehensive disclosure has Kody in a state of panic because it ties together into an appalling picture of his character on every front of family life. Reddit commenters poring over early drafts maintain that Christine validates years of suspicions regarding family finances, that TLC profits were surreptitiously redirected away from the communal fund. The wives thought the added income was being used to pay off Coyote Pass so they could begin constructing. Christine allegedly tells it differently. The financial deception is reflected in the physical one exactly. As Kody insisted on round-the-clock massages without reciprocating, he reportedly insisted on controlling family finances while diverting them away from common needs. Christine is said to record working multiple shifts and night shifts while pregnant, barely managing to pay bills, including thousands spent on hospital bills for Truly, while Kody allegedly drew cash from accounts intended to cover all the wives and children. The comparison between her financial hardship and his suspected mismanagement is revealing. As per early readers, Christine even says that Isabel's back surgery had a $50,000 deductible, and although some family money was spent, the terms make it obvious that even life-changing medical necessities weren't necessarily covered by the so-called shared pool. In the meantime, sources claim Kody and Robyn were living somewhat in comfort while the other wives struggled. The pattern that unfolds is chilling. Kody, supposedly, kept both intimacy and money as streams of resources heading towards him and his preferred household. Not shared resources. Women who've found a partner concealing money or draining family funds elsewhere will immediately recognize that betrayal. What makes these financial figures particularly devastating in conjunction with the massage revelations is the continuity. It implies a coherent system wherein Kody's desires were always paramount over everybody else's fundamental needs. Whether being a demand for massages without expectation of return or receiving money without disclosure, the actions speak to a man who saw marriage as more akin to a service agreement rather than a partnership of equality. Sources indicate Kody's expressed rage about Christine's book is because of this very framing. She isn't making standalone gripes, she's outlining a systematic model of selfishness and manipulation in all aspects of family life. And the point at which she finally discontinued providing those hour-long massages, insiders say, is what terrifies Kody most about the book. It is the precise point at which his control structure started to break. Reddit commenters respond that Christine describes this as not an impulsive act of defiance but the culmination of years of frustration over one-way service. She supposedly outlines how she repeatedly requested simple reciprocity, and was refused each time. Kody's supposed rationale? Massaging her didn't turn him on, so he wouldn't do it. Consider the attitude in telling that to your wife of many years, mother of 6 of your children. Sources say this specificity is what has Kody especially upset because it eternalizes, in his own words, how he thought of physical affection as something bartered, worth only if it served him. The instant Christine quit providing those massages seems to have created ripple effects through the entire family system. Early readers comment that when a long-standing act of service suddenly stops, it compels everyone to notice just how much they had been taking that service for granted. Robyn's questioning about the change clearly revealed just how much private compliance was being monitored and talked about within the household. Christine's purported narrative makes it unmistakable that this wasn't just about taking back her time. It was about understanding she had been operating in a system where her comfort and satisfaction were routinely disregarded in favor of Kody's expectations. Each woman who has ever come to the breaking point of giving many times more than she has received can likely identify with that moment of enough is enough. In line with Reddit comments, Christine positions this realization as part of a greater awakening, where she started questioning other spheres in which she was supposed to give without ever receiving anything back. The massage scenario became emblematic of their entire marriage, an arrangement in which Kody's needs surpassed everyone else's minimum needs for affection and respect. Sources close to Christine imply Kody is most disturbed by this news because it reveals the hypocrisy of his strategies. In being so narcissistic and controlling, he supposedly brought about the rebellion he most feared. Christine's refusal to keep playing the one-sided game was the start of setting her boundaries. And now, the timing of her going public with these revelations indicates that she's done shielding his reputation or image as a doting patriarch. When a person gets to the point where they no longer care about saving their ex from embarrassment, that's when the worst hurts start to flow. The backlash from Christine's reported revelations has allegedly put Kody in his worst-case scenario: humiliation he cannot spin, deal with, or deflect. Sources indicate his anger stems from realizing these facts will pursue him in all future relationships or business. According to early readers, the book isn't only about bedroom demands, it's a complete portrait of a man who treated relationships like business deals wherein he was always the one to gain. With the addition of financial manipulation and parenting failures, the result reads like a devastating character takedown built on his own documented behavior. Sources close to the situation say Kody's panic runs deeper than embarrassment. It's the awareness that once someone reveals your bedroom habits, your money moves, and your parenting missteps all in one volume, rebranding yourself as a devoted husband or father becomes nearly impossible. Christine's testimony purportedly presents the massage scandal as merely one instance of being treated less as a wife and more like unpaid help. Reddit posters point out that she even portrays Kody as showing up at her doorstep in anticipation of meals, childcare, and sex, leaving if his expectations weren't fulfilled. Such transactional interactions eliminate any pretense their marriage was based on love or equality. What Kody allegedly dreads most is the way these secrets automatically invalidate all his public assertions of being a loving, devoted family man. When Christine tells of him insisting on marathon massages but refusing to return them, the picture of a man who loves his wives disintegrates entirely. And with his ties to most of his older children already strained and his finances allegedly under pressure, the timing couldn't be worse. These details don't just embarrass him, they invite people to question everything else about his character and motives. According to early readers, Christine's inclusion of such intimate revelations signals that she's truly done shielding him or worrying about his reputation. Once that threshold is passed, the toughest realities typically emerge. The accusations of selfishness in the bedroom, networks of manipulation, and control maneuvers all coalesce into a depiction of Kody as unsuitable both as a partner and as a leader. Sources indicate that his anger stems from the realization that Christine's book has forever redefined how the public perceives him. Do you believe Christine's decision to expose these personal manipulation techniques may inspire other reality television wives to share their own untold accounts? And whose of Kody's so-called demands makes you doubt him the most? Hit like, subscribe, and leave notifications on, because the next Sister Wives scandal wave is sounding like it's going to be even juicier than this one.